Hi everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Nora Makar. Today is Tuesday, so I'm going to be talking about the books that I read last week, and it's actually only one book that I actually finished, and that is Trois, femmes, puissantes by Marie Ndiaye. This has been translated to English under the title Three Strong Women. There are three separate stories in this book, which is something I didn't know going in, so I was surprised when the first story stopped, ended, and another completely different one began. So something to know if you want to read this. The stories are contemporary fiction and they're set in France and Senegal, and there are very small elements of magical realism in it. The first story is about Nora. She's a successful lawyer and has a bit of control freak issues. She has a daughter and her partner also has a daughter. So together they form a family with two children. And she is asked to go back to Senegal by her father because he has something to tell her. And we follow things from there. We learn about her youth and her relationship with her father and the rest of her siblings, but also her relationship with her partner and what she thinks of how the children are raised. The second story is the longest one. It was the hardest one to get through, and it's about Rudy. We follow Rudy throughout a whole day following a fight that he had with his wife Fanta in the morning. Rudy met his wife Fanta in Senegal and they used to both work at a school there, but something happened and they had to move back to the village where Rudy is from in France. Fanta used to be able to teach in Senegal, but now she can't anymore, so she has a very different life, and Rudy as well is not able to teach anymore, now does a job that he hates and that he doesn't want to stay in, and he hates basically everybody that's around him, and he's struggling with his relationship with his wife but also with his son. And the third story is about Kadi. She's a young woman living in Senegal and her husband died, leaving her childless and without any prospects in life. And at the beginning she lives with his family. They completely hate her, and they ignoring her is actually the best thing. And at one point they plan that she is put on a boat to set off to France to live with her cousin, who is actually Fanta, and she escapes. She realizes the boat is not a good thing, and she escapes from the boat, and we follow the rest of her life and the awful peripecies that she is going through and how tough her life is. Now, all of these stories are written in a very stream of consciousness kind of way, which is not for everybody. Marie Ndiaye uses very long sentences. Basically, each paragraph is one sentence, and that because she uses a lot of commas and she gives a lot of detail about whatnot, sometimes it was hard to understand what was going on. You really had to stay focused and stay concentrated, and I tend to wander off with my mind when stuff like that happens, when I'm not really sucked in, and I wasn't sucked in at all, so I really had to concentrate. And I think it's even with the second book that I was halfway through, the second story I mean, I realized I was not understanding at all what was happening, and I did not like it. So I decided to start the second story all over again and really focus at that time, and that made a big difference. And I did end up liking it. It was worth trying to work through and trying to focus and not having things come easily to you. So for that, I did end up liking this book. I wasn't in love or anything, but I'm happy that I followed through. You know, this is one of those books that is different from others. The way it's told is different, also with the small magic realism things and the tempo and the repetition that's going on. So there's that. I'm actually pretty happy that I only read one book, because I was worried that because I'm doing these weekly wrap-ups, I would stress to read more books. So now, having just read one and, telling myself, who cares, is actually pretty good. So I'm happy about that. So I have been reading Invisible Women by Criado Perez, which is non-fiction about the data gap between men and women, basically. I have also been slowly making my way through The Things You Can See Only When You Slow Down by Heamin Sunim, which I really want to take my time with. And I have also been making my way through Me and White Supremacy by Layla F Saad, which is a workbook that you do every day for 28 days, which for me is going to be longer because I missed a few days. So I'm going to be doing this one as well for a while. And on audio, I have been listening to How We Disappeared by Jing-Jing Lee. That was all for this week. What have you been reading? The summer is coming out. That means a lot of people are trying to decide what they're going to read this summer. I've been trying to think of a project that I can do this summer as well. So I have to check out a few readathons. So if you have any ideas, I'm up for it. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!